Welcome back to CIA Declassified. Today we open a book that wasn't meant for any public library. In the 1970s, the intelligence community wasn't just tracking missiles and moles, they were tracking the limits of the human mind. To do that, they had to invent a new language. They needed words for things that science said shouldn't exist. Telepathy, clairvoyance, and the ability to influence matter with a thought. This wasn't science fiction, it was a formal administrative requirement. This is the story of the Psychotronics dictionary. The dictionary was a collaborative effort to bridge the gap between hard science and the unexplained. The Psychotronics dictionary was a declassified glossary prepared by the Defense Intelligence Agency and the CIA to standardize terminology for parapsychological research. A quote from the 1975 DIA Psychotronics glossary. Psychotronics is the study of the interaction of living organisms with their environment through the exchange of information and energy by means of energy fields that are currently not recognized by conventional physics. End quote. The term bioinformation was defined as the exchange of information via an unknown biological channel, effectively rebranding telepathy for military use. The dictionary included the term Psi-Field, which the agency theorized was a physical field generated by the human brain that could be detected with specialized sensors. Analysts used the term hypnogenic signal to describe the possibility of inducing sleep or trance states and targets from a distance using electromagnetic waves. A quote from a CIA memo on parapsychology terminology. Standardization is essential to ensure that field reports regarding anomalous mental phenomena can be accurately processed by intelligence computers. End quote. The dictionary distinguished between ESP and anomalous cognition, preferring the latter to make the research sound more clinical to skeptical senators. A section of the glossary was dedicated to biolocation, the official term for dowsing, the practice of using rods to find water or minerals. The DIA defined dermovision as the purported ability of some subjects to see colors or read text using only their skin. A quote from a 1972 research brief. The Soviets' lead in psychotronics necessitates a comprehensive lexicon so that we may understand their progress in biological radio communication. End quote. The dictionary also covered psychotronic weaponry, defined as devices designed to disrupt the central nervous system of an enemy through non-ionizing radiation. The term aura was discarded in favor of bioluminescence to distance the research from occult associations. Declassified logs show that the CIA held vocabulary workshops for psychics like Ingo Swann to align their descriptions of remote viewing with the dictionary's terms. The glossary included Kirlian photography, a technique used to capture electrical discharges around living objects, which the DIA believed revealed the state of the subject's Psi-Field. I have an episode all about that, by the way. A quote from a 1977 Stargate Project review. By defining the parameters of the impossible, we make the impossible a matter of national security. End quote. The declassified files highlight a term called thought photography, the theoretical process of projecting a mental image onto a film plate. The dictionary spent 3 pages defining synchronicity, attempting to determine if meaningful coincidences could be predicted by intelligence algorithms. Project Scan8, which we have an episode on, One of the precursors to Stargate, which we have multiple episodes on, used the Psychotronics dictionary to grade the accuracy of remote viewers. The agency investigated psychotronic infiltration, the idea that a Psi-Field could be used to bypass physical security locks. A quote from Dr. Harold Puthoff. The vocabulary was the first step in turning a circus trick into a strategic asset, end quote. The documents reveal that the dictionary was updated in secret until 1995, including terms for digital psychics who claim to influence computer code with their minds. The DIA defined retrocognition as the ability to see the past, specifically to assist in solving cold case espionage files. The Psychotronics dictionary was often used as a cryptonym key for sensitive budget documents related to the paranormal. Internal memos suggest that the dictionary's definitions were so dense that even CIA analysts required a translation guide to understand the glossary. The glossary contained biorhythm charts, which the military used to determine the best time of day for an agent to perform a high-stake mission. A quote from a 1979 DIA technical memorandum. The psychotronic threat is as real as the nuclear threat, but we lack the Geiger counters to measure it. End quote. The declassification shows that the dictionary was nearly used to train diplomatic psychics to read the intentions of foreign leaders during summits. The glossary included telethesia, I think I'm saying that right, TELESTHESIA, a specific type of remote sensing that focused on feeling the temperature or texture of a distant object. The agency experimented with subliminal psychotronics, defining the process of embedding psi commands into white noise. The declassification confirms that the Psychotronics dictionary is still used by the CIA as a reference for unconventional human performance studies. Records show the dictionary was shared with NASA during the Apollo era to investigate if bioinformation could serve as a backup communication system for astronauts in the event of total radio failure. A quote from a 1981 DIA Scientific Intelligence Advisory. If the human brain acts as a transceiver for non-ionizing radiation, we must establish a rigorous lexicon to describe the signal-to-noise ratio of a thought. End quote. The glossary specifically defined teleportation as the non-local translocation of a physical object via psychotronic influence, indicating the DIA was seriously considering the strategic movement of assets without vehicles. In the mid-80s, the dictionary added a section on group consciousness, theorizing that multiple people focusing on a single target could create a super psi effect far stronger than a lone individual. According to the declassification, the glossary includes an entry for chronokinesis, the theoretical slowing down or speeding up of time relative to the subject's perception through intense mental exertion. While the terms for telepathy are public, a 1980 appendix titled Category X, the sovereign verbs, is entirely redacted. Why is the CIA hiding the definitions of words that describe the command of reality? Get ready for the theory of the cursed glossary. Speculation suggests that the Psychotronics dictionary isn't just a list of words, it's a manual for neural programming. The theory claims that reading the redacted sections out loud in specific order can actually unlock psychic abilities by rearranging the listener's brain chemistry, and the black redactions hide the trigger words that can turn a human into a weaponized psychic assassin. What if the words are alive? A dark rumor suggests the CIA used the dictionary to infect the minds of Soviet translators with linguistic viruses. Ideas that, once understood, caused literal brain hemorrhages or permanent insanity. The redactions are believed to be the infection strings that are too dangerous for any human to read. Could a word stop time? Speculation suggests the redactions hide the zero verb, a word that if spoken by a trained operative can freeze the Psi-Field of an entire room, leaving everyone but the speaker in a state of suspended animation. Watch out for the subconscious script theory. It claims the redactions hide a secret language that the agency uses to talk directly to your id through radio static, and the black bars are the dictionary for this shadow talk. What if we're talking to ghost? Some believe the redactions hide the afterlife protocol, where the CIA successfully defined the terms of communicating with deceased assets, and the black bars hide the channeling frequencies for dead spies. Could a letter be a bullet? A wild rumor suggests the redactions hide optical psychotronics, where specific shapes of letters can cause an immediate heart attack in anyone who looks at them, and the black ink is a safety measure to prevent mass casualties. Brace for the siren syntax theory. It claims the redactions prove the agency found a way to make any lie sound like the absolute truth by using a specific grammatical structure found in the glossary, turning every CIA spokesperson into a master of biological persuasion. Some believe the redactions hide the anti-word. Speculation suggests the CIA found a word that causes a person to completely forget their own name and identity instantly, and the redactions are the reprogramming manual for these blank slate agents. Beware the reality leak rumor. It claims the redactions hide evidence that certain words in the dictionary were accidentally used in a 1982 broadcast, causing a citywide hallucination in Topeka, Kansas, and the black bars are the settlement agreements. Some speculate the black bars hide the God phrase. The theory is that the agency discovered a sequence of sounds that allows a human to perceive every moment in history at once, and the redactions are the sanity shields for those who have heard it. Keep your ears covered for the phonic shadow theory. It suggests the redactions describe a way to record the residue of thoughts left in a room, and the black bars hide the transcripts of the CIA eavesdropping on the ghost of former world leaders. Is your blood a sentence? A dark rumor suggests the redacted pages contain the DNA dialect, a method for using psychotronics to rearrange a target's genetic code remotely by speaking specific phrases into a phone line. What if the internet is a seance? Speculation posits that the black bar hides the ghost in the machine protocol, which defines how to upload a psychic Psi-Field into the global mainframe, allowing them to haunt the digital world forever. Brace for the void grammar theory. It claims the redactions aren't covering text, but are actually negative words that consume the memory of the words around them. And the CIA is hiding a language that can delete people's memories of entire historical events. Lastly, are we talking to the stars? Some theorists suggest the redactions hide the universal translation key, proving the dictionary was actually written to communicate with non-human intelligences that exist within our own bioluminescence. Was the Psychotronics dictionary a success? Bureaucratically, yes. It allowed the CIA to fund dozens of black projects under the guise of biofield research. Scientifically, it remains a question mark. While the dictionary gave us a language for the unknown, it didn't necessarily give us the power to control it. However, the declassification proves that by simply naming the impossible, the agency succeeded in making it a permanent part of the American security apparatus. As far as technological and operational breakthroughs go, the words in the dictionary became the seeds for real-world technology. For instance, non-lethal directed energy. The development of the active denial system was directly influenced by psychotronic weapon research. Biofeedback training, early DIA experiments in Psi-Field regulation led to modern biofeedback tools used to treat PTSD. Neurolinguistics, the study of how specific words affect brainwave patterns now used in advanced interrogation techniques and aerodynamic remote sensing. The math developed for biolocation was adapted for modern ground-penetrating radar. The Psychotronics dictionary proves that the most powerful weapon in the agency's arsenal isn't a bomb or a spy, it's a definition. When you control the words, you control reality itself. The next time you hear a word you don't recognize or a hum you can't explain, remember the dictionary. Join us next time as we're going to be examining Operation Cyclone, the textbooks. The agency wanted to win the hearts and minds of a generation. We'll uncover the 1980s program where the CIA funded the printing of extremist textbooks for Afghan children. We'll look at math problems that ask students to count bullets and infidels to encourage them to fight the Soviet occupation. Join us next time for the lessons of war. In the meantime, I'll see you in the archive.